Yo, what is up? It's that time, it's that hour, it's Righteous with another video. Alright, so I'm gonna give you my take on what I saw in the fight. First, I want to start off with saying shout out to everybody that's been watching, subscribing, commenting. Thank you. For all my friends that's on Instagram that watch boxing with me. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the journalists that I keep in contact with. Brendan Taylor, Leilos, Chicana, you guys know who you are. Alright, so shout out to you guys. I saw the Rolly fight versus Pitbull. Honestly, I was thinking that Isaac Cruz was gonna probably ice him, and I thought that it was possible that Rolly probably learned from the Tank fight. But it's sad, because even the most average watcher knows that at the end of the day, a fighter has to have a jab. You have to have a jab in order for you to win fights or to be dedicated and to be able to succeed in a fight, because that's what keeps you planted, at least to know what you're doing with a setup, or if a setup is going to happen on you. That's a great foundation to be like, all right, I got this is going to help, and that's it, I'm good. But lately we don't see that from Rolly, and there's a lot of fighters that don't have much of a jab, and it sucks. I have had friends that pointed out for me to the most biggest superstars, they don't have it, it sucks. But yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why Rolly lost. Now, again, is Rolly talented? Yes. Is he athletic? Yes. Can he load up and hit you real good? Yes. But the technique that Pitbull shows, and he also came up because Pitbull is not even a fighter from 140. He's mainly in 135. And now he put himself in that atmosphere. So he's basically chasing the bag. He's like, yo, I'll fight whoever. Even though I don't think he should have beaten Rolly, because the thing is, if you look at technique, obviously Isak is the more technical fighter. But when it comes to talent, Rolly has it. He's just... I don't feel like he cares about boxing the way he should. I really feel like his coach coaches him to a point where he's like, this is how you defend yourself. Try this, try that, do this, do that. But I don't think he actually is a student, because when he was getting hit in there in the last few rounds that he was about to lose, this man was not moving his head. He was barely guarding his head, and he was not doing the right things after hugging. Because at least if you're going to hug, make it a technique. Don't just hug just to be like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. No, bro, set some shit up. There's no way that a guy that's shorter than you and you're heavier than him and he's fucking overwhelming you. That shit just doesn't make sense. But obviously it came down to technique. And Rolly, he needs to become more of a student in the game. That's basically what it comes down to, because I know he has a good coach. Is he the greatest of all time? No, but he has a good enough coach to teach him. And Rolly just he just thinks that he can just Roy Jones everybody. That doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. But anyway, let's go into the Fundora fight. Let's talk about that, because that fight was very interesting. And it also sucks that there isn't a rematch for that fight. I am so sad about that. But anyway, I would have liked to see Tszyu versus Thurman. This reminds me of a lot of fights that, changed in the middle of the camp. Kind of like Pacquiao about to fight Earl Spence Jr. Then we got Ugas. So, oh, snap. Now we got to get prepared for this guy and get prepared for a righty instead of a lefty, or this or that, because obviously Fundora is a lefty and he's 6'6", so different ball game. Thurman's obviously righty. Those are issues. But anyway, let's get back to the fight. The first 3 rounds, I feel like Tim was doing really good. Regardless if he won those rounds or not, I feel like he was doing really good. Even when the cut first happened, I felt like he was doing really good. But then he started to commit too much to trying to go toe-to-toe with Fundora. and it's not smart to do, because when you're bleeding like that, obviously it's going to cause you to rush your work, and you can't see. So he's trying to get as close to the action as possible. The problem is that this is a horrible scenario to be in when you're fighting someone that's 6'6" and has the reach and the length that Fundora has. Those jabs were really just disrupting everything that Tim was doing. And they got into like a load up battle, kind of like what Rolly was doing, but Tim was doing it way better because he was doing it like a power jab, and he was also countering as well, moving his head, which was good. But I wish Tim would have used the ring a little bit more, because going toe-to-toe with someone that's clocking you and can actually see you coming in better than you can see him coming in, pause, no diddy, I'm telling you, Fundora had way more success with that jab and with being able to telegraph. If Tim would have been able to move away a little bit, it would have been easy. But that's a pretty unique spot. Like, to get clocked right there and be dripping right down your eyes like that, very tough. So when you look at the scorecard and when you see what happened, and even in the last round, I feel like Tim won the last round. I give full credit to Tim for doing what he did. Very difficult. He could have knocked out Fundora in the beginning, and he could have been knocked out himself, because he was fighting a lefty that's super tall, and that it just doesn't waver from his jabs. I love that shit. But at the end of the day, that should be clause for a rematch. I wish they could change the rules on that, because first off, they screwed Crawford. It was like Crawford was like, yeah, it's me. I'm next. I'm going to fight him next. And then one day they just decided, nah, it's going to be Earl. Yeah. And even when he did that interview after when the fight ended, and he had they were congratulating Fundora, excuse me. Earl came in looking chubby, looking kind of like he just sipped on something. I don't know. Haven't seen him in a while. Haven't heard him talk in a while. It's just like, yeah, I got this. You're my food. Yeah. They're serving you up to me. Yeah. I was like, damn, man. So now Tim's out of the ballgame. So I don't mind if Tim fights Crawford, but that should be Crawford's fight. Excuse me. So, anyway, what do you guys think of the fight? I thought it was a great fight. It sucks that Fundora doesn't get more props, because Earl have them rushing Earl up there. He only had 2 or 3 weeks to prepare, 4 weeks to prepare. I don't know. He was just ready, I guess. But like, he wasn't a part of the promotion. So there's a lot of things that just doesn't stick well, and it's not going to be promoted really good, to a sense where like the fans can really gravitate towards this. Pitbull, I'm in a few chats there. I like the idea of Pitbull fighting Matisse or even Teofimo. Those are awesome fights. Haney as well. I think Haney would ice Pitbull, but he's got to prove it, right? He's got to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Haney is the guy that's going to be tested the most in this division. If he doesn't escape 140, but even if he does escape 140, he's still going to have to fight some demons at 47, because, there's some dogs up there too. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm looking forward to the next few fights that are coming up. I'm shocked that I had the time to even watch this fight, because normally I don't, but glad I got the time to watch it. Thank you so much. Let's try to keep boxing live, and peace out.